You keep saying that you're about to start. Oh, I'm going to start streaming. Or I'm going to start producing YouTube content. Or I'm going to start making TikTok videos. You keep saying you're going to start, but you're not. It's a lie. You're stalling. And the reason why you're stalling is because of fear. I fully believe that fear shapes what decisions we do and don't make because fear feels real. But what if I told you that fear is all in the mind? What if I told you that how you think about certain situations will determine which feelings pop up and then determine your next actions? I'm here to help you destroy fear so you can show up with clarity and show up as your authentic self. When that happens, creating content becomes that much more easier. So I know what you're thinking. You probably have a list of reasons why you haven't started your content. You probably have a list of reasons why you are not consistent with your content. And I'm here to tell you that everything that you say that isn't doing it is an excuse that your brain is producing so you don't go through embarrassment or you don't feel out of place. You don't feel that hint of imposter syndrome. All that shit is made up. All that shit is to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable. And if you're cool with being comfortable, then you can go ahead and turn this video off. This is not for you. This is for that content creator who knows their life is meant for more, who knows their content is supposed to be seen by millions of people and their content is supposed to reach the people it's supposed to reach. If that's you, keep paying attention. I got some information for you. Now here I have a whole list of fears that I believe keep content creators stuck. And if any of these resonate with you, go ahead and leave me a comment below and be like, yep, that one's me. And if not, worst case scenario, you know about some things that you can avoid in the future. So I'm just gonna go down the list real quick. We got fear of being seen, fear of judgment, fear of being wrong, fear of looking cringe, fear of wasted effort, fear of success, fear of outgrowing people, fear of confirming the worst story. If I flop, it proves I'm not good. Fear of not knowing what to do next, fear of vulnerability. I found out in my life that if I didn't have a plan, and this is before I switch what my mind does with new information, if I didn't have a plan or steps laid out for whatever venture that I was going into, I would freeze up and think of every excuse to not do that thing. But here's the truth. You don't need a fully fleshed out plan to execute on your dreams. The thing you need to do is start. Now, when you first start, a lot of things might happen. You definitely probably don't know what you're doing. You feel like you're just bumbling around and just like, I guess I'm shooting this content. I guess I'm editing this video. You might not even know how to edit a video, but all of those things come with practice. This year, I challenged myself to make 2 long-form YouTube videos and 10 shorts a week, not only to spread my awareness to the people out there who are looking for the content that I make, but also to get some reps in when it comes to A, shooting, B, picking my subject matter for the week, and C, most importantly for me, editing. And anything outside of content creation, this makes sense. Basketball players, they still go to practice. Every sport, they still go to practice. MMA fighters, they still go to the gym. They still practice their techniques. So when it's time to show up for the real thing, they're ready and prepared. That is the exact same format that you need to treat your content like. Get those reps in, make sure you're practicing your skills and doing things that you normally wouldn't do to see what works and what doesn't. If you've been thinking about creating content and all you have is excuses, those excuses aren't doing anything. They're just keeping you at zero. Like, you do realize that the more things that you come up with to say, this is why I shouldn't be doing it, you might as well not be doing it. You're just causing yourself unnecessary pressure, unnecessary anxiety, when you could just start doing the thing that you keep preaching about. To keep this nice and compact, I came up with 3 loops that content creators go through that are all fear-based, but that keep you stuck in not creating content. And the goal of this video is to get you to start creating more content. So the first loop is the perfection loop. You want to make sure that your content is perfect from beginning to end, and the reason is fear-based. If it's perfect, no one can judge you. No one's going to question you about the things that you're doing. And in that, you feel safe. You feel comfortable. And because your mind is fixated on that, that's how it shows up for you in your life as perfectionism. You need to get comfortable with doing things messy. You need to get comfortable with putting out content, revising it, and then doing it again over and over and over until you find your voice. You're not trying to emulate anybody else who's making YouTube content. You're attempting to get your voice out there. Your videos are not just entertainment. They're just not a copy clone of somebody else's. They're your voice. The next loop I see content creators getting stuck in is the identity loop. You keep telling yourself that you're not consistent. You keep telling yourself you're not able to use a teleprompter. You keep telling yourself that you can't speak naturally on camera. And then your mind starts believing it, because this is the simple truth. And if you can get this through your head, then you're going to be unstoppable. Whatever you say out loud, whatever you type in conjunction with you as a person, your brain is going to believe that. That is gospel to your unconscious mind. So if you ever said, I can't be consistent because X, Y, and Z, your unconscious mind is going to start eliciting feelings to prove what you just said correct. So that procrastination is just your mind trying to prove that, hey, you're not ready for this. You're not built for this. And that is something that is easily changed. Number 3, and probably my favorite one, is a moral loop. Never will you admit that you're scared. Never will you admit that fear is causing you to not create content. No, you tell yourself that you're lazy. You tell yourself that you're inconsistent. So how do you overcome these fear-based decisions? One thing you can do is shrink the task to something small that fear can't interrupt. For instance, instead of starting a YouTube channel, shoot 45 seconds, store it, and wait. Instead of saying that you're going to post consistently, start recording one video and saving it to draft. Do that for a couple of weeks and notice you're getting consistent with that. So it's not that you can't create a consistent system. Again, it's fear-based. You're scared to go live with that video because you're scared to be judged by the masses. You're scared to be questioned about your content, your shooting style, your editing style, your lighting, all of that things. You don't need to worry about those things. If you pay attention and notice how fear works, fear is rarely based on present time. Fear is rarely based on present time. It's always based in either the past or the future. So if you're thinking about posting content and when you do that, you have a sense of anxiety, it's because your mind is looking into the future, making up a whole scenario that has not happened and does not need to happen, and then eliciting feelings in the present to get you to feel those things. So that imposter syndrome, that anxiety, that depression, that perfectionism, 9 times out of 10, it's your mind looking to the future, deciding something, and giving you tools right now to prevent that thing from happening. Simple step, remind yourself and tell your mind that, hey, in the present, I am fine. This is not a reality that I want. Therefore, start thinking of a new one. And I say this all the time. As creators, we have the tools capable of achieving anything we want in life. Because again, those feelings only pop up when you're thinking about things that you don't want. Oh, I don't want people to make fun of me. I don't want racist people to come into my comments talking shit. If you stop thinking about that and causing anxiety right now in the present and start focusing on what you do want and what you do want your content to look like, things will change for the better. What you put your mind on will determine what feelings pop up for you in the present. That's the simplest thing that you can remember. If you take one thing out of this video, please take that. And another key thing to remember is doing these reps builds confidence. Confidence is not a trait that just shows up. Confidence gets built, consistency gets built when you put the reps in. The more you do something, the more you're telling your mind that, hey, this is safe, this is what I want to do, let's keep going forward. Your mind calms down. Your mind stops looking for fear-based decisions to take you on. Your mind stops providing anxiety as a tool to get you to stop doing something. Have you ever known anybody who smokes cigarettes? I think we can all agree that smoking cigarettes is bad. When you first smoke a cigarette, because I used to back in the day, but I quit, it's not a pleasant experience. Your lungs hurt, you can't breathe, but the more you do it, the more you're teaching your mind that, hey, this is safe, this is what I want to do. Therefore, it becomes easier. You start getting different feelings from smoking. You start getting a little lightheaded, which some people actually chase. It's still not safe, yet your mind has given up trying to stop you from doing it because you are clearly hell-bent on still doing it. Therefore, your mind's like, all right, this is what we're doing. The same thing happens when you decide to create content. Push through that fear, push through those uncomfortable bits, and get to the point where your mind's like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is who we are. This is no longer a dangerous event. Let me give you some energy so you can do this even better than you're doing it now. And honestly, that's it. Those are the steps that I would take to get your mind to calm down, to realize that, hey, creating content is what I want to do. Please stop giving me fear in order to stop me from achieving my dream. If you want help with that, definitely reach out to me. I'll have a link in the description of this podcast if you want to set up a session. But what we do in our sessions is actually talk about the things that you are feeling in the moment. Once I get an understanding of how you're feeling and how that fear is showing up for you, we paint a better picture for your mind to obsess over. We update the data that your mind is using to elicit these emotions. Then you move forward clear, with energy and excitement. The cheat code to get you to do anything that you want out of life is to make that thing both appealing and possible to do. Once you do that, the sky's the limit. There's no stopping you. You're an unstoppable content creation for whatever force you decide to do it for. And that's it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do so. But other than that, I appreciate you for watching. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.